Zukhanye, our Western Cape Triple Diamond leader, it's lovely to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm happy I'm here.
Zukhanye, you joined INUKA in July 2017. By October 2019, you were already a Triple Diamond leader. Last year, you were announced as a INUKA Top 10 Business Leader 2020, and you were actually in position number 7. Last year's been a phenomenal year for you because in July or June 2020, you earned a brand new Polo Vivo that INUKA presented to you just after we came out of strict lockdown situations in August 2020. And I'm sure everybody watching today would also want to know, how did you feel getting your car? And what do you enjoy most about driving your car?
When I heard the news, obviously I was working towards it, but when it actually happened that I achieved in earning the car, the most overwhelming day or moment was when the car was presented to me. When I drove in, when my colleagues came to drop me, I looked around and I thought the car was already going to be there, and there was no car. And I was like, okay. When we walked in, the venue, the environment, just the atmosphere said, girl, you've made it. The moment when we walked outside again, when the car was covered there, you know, when they pull away that cloth and you're expecting, then the car just came. My lady blue was there. My heart started beating so fast. I had so much excitement. I had planned not to cry, but it was so overwhelming. My happiness took over. And I was so emotional, but yeah.
So the moment was just too big for
you. The
you.
moment was just too big for me. But the nice part about it is that until today, whenever I choose to drive Lady Blue, it's like, oh, my INUKA car. Oh,
I'm so happy you also gave your car a name.
Yes.
Lady Blue, the name suits you and your car. I can still remember, Zukhanye, it was one of the first events we were trying to plan just after the very strict lockdown regulations. And I will remember the day I phoned you and I told you, Zukhanye, you can only invite 2 people. It actually broke my heart. But I still think we had a wonderful time together. And that's why I'm so happy to have you here today, because you also never had your special moment on a stage when we normally presented a car. And you were so gracefully that day, even if you only had 2 visitors there. And I think also it must be phenomenal to own a car that you don't have to pay installment on, that's brand new, that's not needing the maintenance. So I really hope that you're going to have many, many more safe driving miles.
I am enjoying I'm enjoying that car. You know, this other day I was going to Paarl, so I was having a passenger in Lady Blue. So she made a comment and said, oh, your miles are so low. This car must be new. Then I took the opportunity. I was like, no, it's a brand new car. I ended from INUKA. That's why I got it with, I said with 25Ks, but I think it was 23Ks when I received it. I said with 25Ks. Then I blurbed on with INUKA. Today, that person is an INUKA distributor.
It just shows you. I'm happy you took her for a drive in your car.
Yeah, it was my pleasure, and I earned a recruit.
So Zukhanye, you actually made this car a reality for you under very strict COVID lockdown situations. How did you stay positive, and you kept on believing in your dreams and believing that it could happen for you?
When COVID struck, it was a very unfortunate thing that could ever happen in the world, Nje. But when I started INUKA, I had a 3-year plan. Normally, it's a 5-year plan that I make for myself, but I don't know. I just had my 3-year plan with INUKA. So I knew that last year was a year where I wanted to end the car. So when lemons came in a form of COVID, I had to adjust a strategy that I planned on using on ending the car with the recruits that were qualifying at the time. So I I changed the times, because in the mornings I would wake up at 6 and speak to the team at 6. But now I knew that some people are awake because of stress and anxiety of not knowing what the world brings, and maybe some are infected or affected by COVID. So I changed from 6 o'clock to 5 o'clock so that I can at least keep some of the members company if they are awake. And then I would start chatting to them. I would start saying, if anyone that is awake, I'll say hi, I'll give you 5 PVs. I'll buy 5 PVs for you. I just want to see if everybody is up and running. Everybody is on the Gejeza mode, which is the name of my group, Team Gejeza. So if somebody's awake, let's talk. You will earn yourself 5 PVs. So everybody started catching the drift of me just popping in the group at any unforeseen times, uncalled times. Then everybody would be on beat, starting to, then I would be like, let me see your status. Let me see you marketing on your WhatsApp statuses. So I started introducing things that we did not do under normal circumstances without COVID. I started having incentives. If you do your Club 40 in a short space of time, or if you're the first one to do your Club 40, I will also chip in like maybe 10 points, or you will get a t-shirt, or you get. So that is how I kept my members going and trying to distract them from what was actually happening in the real world. I even called that the group that we are in the business world. A lot is happening in the outside world, in the real world, but let's be excited and be happy and keep standing in our business world, because whatever is taking place in the real world will go away, but we need to keep standing. So when everything else is gone, we are still there.
That's such a beautiful way to go about with it. So the new circumstances sparked with you some new ideas on how to go about it. And I think that's so important, is because we couldn't do the same things we normally did. So we had to go and do new things.
Change
and
strategies.
It's just your message is so powerful, just to show that beautiful and powerful things can happen even in very difficult circumstances. So like they say, if you want to have the rainbow, you have to put up with the rain.
Yes.
That's done
how
for
I
that.
tackled it.
And for you starting the momentum in your team. Because I honestly believe that momentum is what saved your team and made them still excited, even though it was challenging circumstances. Zukhanye, I know that there's many members that want to work towards earning a car with the INUKA Car Reward Program. What tips and ideas will you share with them?
The first thing would be having a strategy on how you, the upline, wants to work towards the car, towards earning the car. And obviously you then have to identify those that still qualify in the period of you earning the car. What I did, I was honest and open about it. I took the crew that qualified on me earning the car, I set them down, or I also came up with an incentive for them. The incentive was that if they do Sapphire and maintain it, I'm going to give both of them each 5,000 rands. So the incentive thing, excluding the incentive that INUKA was going to give them 15,000. So I still implemented it with them also. I set them down. I told them, guys, I want a car. My dream was to have all 6 ways of being paid at INUKA by this time. This is my 3rd year. So if you guys please can help me in earning the car.
And did they take up the challenge?
They took up the challenge. They were so excited. They would wake up with me in the mornings. We would all be talking and discussing the day or the weekend as to who is going to have a stall where. And afterwards, in the afternoon, we would come back and discuss how much sales you made, did you have recruits, or how was the day? And so we kept it going. It was an ongoing thing. We were like driving or walking towards the car so we can drive back after we've earned the car. And that is exactly what happened.
Which is actually a touching message for me, because often in life one sees that not everybody wants success for other people. and that you could actually inspire people to get excited about your success. Because it's sometimes not easy to share your big dreams and goals with other people and then for them to be excited about it. So I really salute that to Sapphire leaders for allowing the sun to shine on you, and that I hope going forward that they also believe there's enough sun to shine on all of us, and that it's safe and okay and wonderful to allow other people to be successful, and to believe that the success can happen for you too. Zukhanye, every month you do 40 or more personal PV, and you've been a Club 40 member ever since you've joined INUKA. How do you go about to achieve that personal sales every month?
I'm one person, Alma, that pays attention to detail. I even pay attention in the different words that I use upon myself and the words that I teach my team to use on themselves. So I had this thing of buy stock, don't buy orders. Because if you buy orders, you are limiting yourself in only buying.
What do you mean by that? When buy stock, don't buy orders.
When you buy orders, it's only orders that came in from your clients.
Oh, so you wait for the customer to order.
You wait for your customers to order, and if they order 5 things, you go and buy those 5 things, then you sit and wait. That means you are not broadening your clientele database, but if you go and buy those 5 orders that your clients wanted and you buy extra items that were not ordered, that is stock that you have at hand that you're going to go and sell to strangers, meaning that you are acquiring, you get more money out of that. That leads you to go and reinvest your money. I call it snowballing in my group. I say you snowball your money. You go and buy those orders, go and sell, go and reinvest at INUKA. By the end of the day, your Club 40 is easily made. You didn't struggle and you didn't stress at the end of the day of not having orders to top up the orders that you bought that were only limited at the time. So you need to learn to buy stock and not just focus on orders.
So one can actually start small, take the profit, reinvest it, sell it, and that's what you mean by snowballing.
Yes.
Because every time your retail profit will be more and you can buy more stock.
Yes.
I think it's so important because often when you meet a customer and you've got nothing and that person has got money, there's going to be no sale.
Yes.
But if you come prepared with stock, do you also sometimes find even if you don't have the exact item the customer wants, because you have stock, they will buy something else?
Yes, you do that. That means then you need to know your product. That's where knowing your product comes in. Because if somebody comes and asks for this kind of perfume, you know that this perfume matches a certain kind of perfume that you do have, but you don't have this particular one that this person is looking for. So you go and say, I don't have this one that you want, but I can introduce you to this one because they're of the same family. Then obviously you let the person test it, then you motivate. Because as a salesperson, as a distributor, you need to be able to motivate as to why you need this person to buy this particular perfume that you currently have. So knowing your product comes in when you don't have what they want, but you have something closer to what they want.
Then you can confidently sell or encourage them to buy. It makes such a lot of sense that you're saying, also because you've invested your profit into products, you're going to be eager to sell it.
Yes.
While if you're sitting with no stock, then you just sit and wait until somebody knocks on your door for an order, which most probably won't happen. It reminds me of a story I heard long ago about a shoe shop owner who had no shoes in his shop and couldn't understand why his business is failing. But it's almost the same. You can't have a INUKA business with no perfume, because then it's almost like the shoe shop owner with no shoes in the shop.
The shop is closed. It's
It
open,
makes
but
absolute sense. What I've also noticed in your downline is that you've got so many members, first level, second level, third level, fourth level, and so on. And all of them, or many of them, are doing Club 40. How do you make that happen?
It's a matter of motivation. But whenever I motivate them, like I do in the mornings, I would always tell them, you need to be motivated first before I motivate you, because whatever I'm going to tell you now, in few minutes it will be gone. But if you have it in yourself that you know that there's a challenge at INUKA that is called Club 40, that there are incentives that you're going to get with Club 40. And if you start, there's always a starting point. You need to start here. For you to be able to get that 1.5 that we get when you get to the 6-1, you need to have a starting point. So my starting point would always be, if you cannot afford to go for the promo, take the little bit of money that belongs to the business, go in and buy at least 5 items that will give you 5 points, because I'm also teaching them the word active. You know, when you tell them being active, they will think it's the good mornings in the group. Good mornings, good afternoon, good evening. Their communication means being active. Now you need to teach them as to being active means you need to have 5+ points at INUKA. But you cannot have 5+ points this month and still have 5 points next month. You need to roll.
Because then you didn't reinvest the money.
Yes, it means you didn't
business.
reinvest. You took the capital that belonged to the business. You went and buy stock because Zukhanye said, because they do listen. You went to buy stock, but when you got the stock, you went to sell, you got excited when you received the profit. You thought the money belonged to you. But in business, you need to take the money back and reinvest the money, snowball it, buy stock so that you can have more things to sell, meaning that your clientele is also growing, your database is getting bigger, up until you become in a position where Zukhanye is today. I started small and I grew. That is what business is all about. You start, then you grow. You need to be constant in growing. You need to be constant in making sure that people see that you're getting somewhere.
I often hear members say, if one encourage somebody, try and be active with 5 personal PV. I don't have money. How do you encourage a person or get somebody then to be active if somebody says, I do not have any money?
Personally, I would say I joined INUKA and automatically that made me an INUKA business owner. So I have a business. Now that you are here, you are a distributor, but you cannot afford, let me employ you for a little bit of period. Zukhanye, as the business owner, let me employ you in my business. I'm going to give you a certain amount of stock. Go sell that stock, then come back to me. So when they come back, I give them the profit that they made. Then I would say, this is capital. It's not money.
It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to your business.
It belongs to the business. This capital, you need to go and buy stock so that you can start rolling with us. That is how I do it.
Shukana, that is really amazing story of taking somebody with zero money and empowering that person and putting that person up in business.
And the joy you see in their faces, or sometimes the joy you hear in their voices, like thank yous. And it also builds the trust and the comfort of knowing that someone has got your back in the business. So you also need to work to make that person that started with you proud. So proud moments are...
And you bringing hope to so many people, even people with zero money.
Yes.
And start small and grow it from there.
Yes.
What a wonderful idea. Zukhanye, I must compliment you. You really look beautiful today. I know that we use all the INUKA beauty products and makeup products to make you look so beautiful today. But I'm sure you will agree with me that once you purchase products, start using it yourself, you get confident about the products. And you mentioned earlier that confidence leads to more sales.
Yes. When I sat on the makeup chair, when I walked in the room and I sat on the makeup chair and I started looking at the counter, I saw all the INUKA products. I saw the powders, I saw the lipsticks, I saw the foundation, and I was like, you go, girl. So when she started making my face up, I was like, oh, okay, I'm really in INUKA. Today, I'm just INUKA-rized, as we call it. I am INUKA-rized. So it felt very good. My face feels so nice and light, and I'm enjoying a every moment of it. So buying the products, using them on yourself, it also, when you buy the product to use it, it's even easier to explain it to the next person. It's easy for me to say, our foundations feel so light. When you have it on, you don't feel like you have something on your face. They don't rub so much on your clothes. You don't get dirty of them, because it's something that I know. It's something that I have used on myself. So it gives you that oomph to be able to talk about it.
And I mean, you're a living example today of how beautiful it looks. Zukhanye, every quarter you earn a quarterly maintenance bonus. This sales quarter one, you earned a 50,000 Rand quarterly maintenance bonus. With all the bonuses you've earned, it must have changed your lifestyle and made a difference to your life. Would you mind telling us more about that?
You know, it has brought up so much goodness in my life, so many positive things that I had done with the money, knowing that there is money coming at the end of the quarter. That's one of the nice things. Like, you know that you have this amount of money that you have worked for, that you're going to earn at the end of the quarter.
And you know for sure you're going to get it if you meet the criteria.
Yes, if you meet the... So with me, one of the reasons that I even joined INUKA was to be able to afford things that I couldn't afford at the time. One of them was to go out in being in beautiful places. So it has given me the ability to live my life to the fullest, to live my best life. And I can proudly say and confidently say, I have built myself, I renovated my home. It's a beautiful mess of house and with stunning furniture that I couldn't have done it with my day-to-day salary. But because INUKA changes lives, like we say it, that's our slogan, it made it possible for me to be able to say, I have a beautiful home.
And I think it must be inspiration that once you start this journey, changing your life, that it's sort of become like a motivation, inspiration for you to keep on earning it, to change more things in your life.
Yes, I have made it a point, Alma, that I live my life to be seen. My reasons were, I want people to see that this is reality. This is happening. If I could do it, it can happen to the next person too. Lucky for me, the people that I have in my circle, if I may call it that, are people that knew me before INUKA. So I have kind of carried them through the journey where I was before INUKA and where I am now. So I'm motivating them that if you keep on doing what you do best, you get there.
I realize what you say is that it's people that you've known for a while, they're in your circle of influence, circle of friends. So they've actually seen you doing the hard work manifesting in the difference in your life.